Hi again. Okay, so sometimes writing can be quite a challenge, and then someone recommended that I should try to interchange between videos and actually writing. Anyway, another misconception is that the only people that need to be doing entrepreneurship or business is because, you had challenging grades in university or primary. And I don't think grades sometimes are truly always like a definition for intelligence. It's just that some people have great discipline when it comes to reading, when it comes to memorizing and being able to truly remember, to have very good memory. And I think I'm doing entrepreneurship I'm doing business, and I was not really failing in school and not performing. So I think it's one of the greatest misconception that taking business or entrepreneurship is because you cannot get a job, or because you are not good, you're unruly, you're the toxic colleague and stuff like that. No, it is because you have such a great passion and desire that is burning in your soul, that is bigger than the space in which you're in, and you believe that you want to do more, you want to give more, and sometimes you feel a little bit confined in the space that you're in. So that explains why sometimes you may opt for something different or even something more, because you feel like you have something even more to give. In fact, there are people who are in employment and they still take time and actually literally do business, and they do entrepreneurship because you want to give more. And ideally, okay, this I've not experienced, but I'm really also trying to work on that, is when you truly want to be able to, live comfortably and live the life you want, ideally you should have seven streams of income. I don't know where you, yeah, but ideally that is what is stated to be the ideal. So it means you can be in employment and still do your trade and still be a consultant and still do whatever it is. So cut out that story. I know we all want to really celebrate and say, okay, you know what, the number one person in the class is gonna come and work for me, who was somewhere there in number 50. No, that's not the case. I think it's just to understand where is your greatest purpose fulfilled the most, and where do you, if you're a great communicator and you need to be in the bank to do that, I think that's amazing, because that is your greatest calling. If your calling is, say, like for some of us, like I personally, I want to act, I want to dance, I want to do PR, I want to do presenting, I want to do entrepreneurship, I want to do so many things. So imagine me, let's say at a workplace, and I'm constantly asking for permission to leave and stuff like that, just to do side hustles, or I'm constantly skiving to go and do a commercial. I don't think that is a healthy way to live. But I am sure a time reaches for an individual where you choose that one thing where it's the only thing that I can do, and people are different. But so I think it's to just understand, who am I, what do I want, and where do I want to do it at, how best can I do it. Because it is true, there are some people who don't fit too well in the workspace, and that's a reality, and there are people who fit really well, there are people who do a great job. Furthermore, it is true, the people who do go get into employment are usually quite diligent, they deliver the best at their job, and that is why everyone wants to keep them inside, right? And then everyone else sort of has to find their way and figure their way, which a lot of times turns out to be such a great advantage, that you are able to take that time to be able to grow, discover yourself, and have all this path to even be a better person. So what may look initially like a curse that nobody wants to take you in their job eventually ends up being such a great blessing. However, on the flip side, the misconception that it is only people who cannot get a job, or people who cannot be employed are the ones who go into entrepreneurship is really the reason why a lot of people are not venturing into it, yet it is such a noble cause. Think about it this way: you get to innovate, you get to solve problems in your society, in your community. It's not just about the money. That's just a reward that comes if, say, you come up with an innovation that does help a lot of people and reach a lot of people, then you do get to have that advantage. But it doesn't mean that one is more powerful than the other. It depends, where does your purpose get served the most. For example, if you want to work in public service, it's inevitable you do have to work for the government, and your passion might be pulling you into that direction. So why go through all the hustle and suffering if it's not something that is inside your heart that wakes you up early in the morning to do it? I would advise, if you can get a job, great. That is even amazing. That's another source of income added to whatever it is that you have, and you're still able to pursue your dreams and your ambition. However, if fate gives you the chance whereby you actually can be able to grow yourself without any challenges and limitations, I think that is also good. I do not cut the privilege that a lot of us who choose that life probably have, in that you're able to buffer yourself for a longer time than a lot of people who must immediately start working, or start doing each ensuring that they do get a lot of money in their pockets almost immediately. So you can't cut out the fact that it is a privilege to have the chance to be able to grow yourself until you find yourself in a very comfortable environment without sinking into poverty. But however, I think you must weigh and say, is the sacrifice worth it? Is it truly purposeful? Do I really want to do it? Because there is a price to pay for almost everything. There's a price to pay. So it can't just be that the reason I'm getting into entrepreneurship or business is to have more time to chill à la maison, which is, that is a reason for some people. But I think it's when you really truly feel you want to deliver a greater purpose, when you have this thing that wakes you up in the morning. You have no idea, it wakes you up even at 3 a.m. to start working on it. And when you have that burning desire, you will survive whatever storms, whatever struggles. But I think the greatest challenge is to actually demystify that all of us are capable of being in entrepreneurship. And even the people say, oh, they didn't do well in school, to survive or to be able to sell even one thing to one individual requires the highest level of people skills and intelligence. So when it comes to thinking, oh, sijui, these people can do this and these people can do that, no. It's just that when you're placed in the environment that is yours, you're able to prosper. Yeah. So can you imagine me say being the secretary? I'll always be trying to get the attention beyond the boss. Yeah. But if you put me in front of a camera, joyfully I'm going to feed. So it's just about finding your purpose. What is your purpose, and how best can you fulfill it? For some of us it's in entrepreneurship, for others you got to stay at work, right? And so you can do all the other side hustles, you can do consultancies, you can grow. And so never let anyone make you feel that you're doing the wrong thing, you're at the wrong place. Everyone, to each his own. Kila mtu na mzigo wake. What I just wanted to say is to demystify that the reason people are pursuing entrepreneurship is because they can't get a job. No. To demystify that the people who are in employment is because they can't do entrepreneurship. That's also not true. So to each his own. What I'm saying is, what may seem as a curse initially, that nobody wants to keep you in their office, may be such a great advantage, because who you become to become this great person, it's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me and watching me. I am so happy to be doing this Thai talk. We are now on day 3 or 4. I'm even losing count all the way to 100. Thank you again.